There appears to be a high level of congestion in the various categories of prisons in the country today, and it has become very worrisome and must be checked, or else it may defeat the very purpose of establishing prisons in any society, principle among which is to serve as correctional facilities for the betterment of inmates and the society. Welcome to Law Weekly on Channels Television. I'm Victoria Idowu. On the program today, we will be looking at the administration of criminal justice in Nigeria. But in the meantime, let's take a look at some court stories.
Justice Simon Amadi of the Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt has dismissed the suit filed by the former governor of Rivers State, Amaechi, challenging the constitution of the Justice George Omeregi-led Judicial Commission of Inquiry. Governor Nyesom Wike had instituted the Judicial Commission of Inquiry to probe the alleged sale of state assets by the immediate past administration. Delivering judgment on suit number PHC 18715 filed by former Governor Amaechi, Justice Amadi declared that the Judicial Commission of Inquiry was not established to investigate the personal activities of the former governor, but set up to investigate the previous actions of the government as they affect the people of Rivers State. The court also held that the suit by former Governor Amaechi is speculative, as it failed to prove the injuries he has suffered because of the setting up of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry. The Attorney General of Rivers State, Emmanuel Aguma, told journalists after the judgment that the Commission of Inquiry can now sit and it will be fair to all. Meanwhile, counsel to Amaechi, Winifred Enyinaya, stated that her client will appeal against the judgment. Meanwhile, the Rivers State Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja has dismissed the application of the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate, Mr. Dakuku Peterside, and his party to compel the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to move the election materials used for the April 11, 2015 governorship election to Abuja for inspection. The tribunal, headed by Justice Muazu Pindiga, dismissed the application on the grounds that it lacks merit and cannot take precedence over a subsisting order given by the tribunal in June on the same issue. The tribunal had earlier given an order directing INEC to allow the petitioner access to the election materials comprising ballot papers and result sheets.
We have other means of compelling INEC to bring the materials that they use in the conduct of the election. There are many ways of achieving the same results. So we have no problem with that ruling. We shall take the alternative means to get INEC to comply with the rules of evidence by producing before the court all the electoral materials that are needed for the hearing of the case.
Meanwhile, on Friday, the Delta State Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Asaba, granted the application of the All Progressives Congress and its governorship candidate, Otega Emeho, to bring in more documents outside their initial plea. This was despite the strong opposition and legal firepower of counsels to the governorship candidate of the PDP governor, Ifeanyi Okowa, the People's Democratic Party, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Chairman of the three-man panel of tribunal, Justice Nasiru Gumi, in his ruling, granted leave for the petitioners to bring in two subpoenas not listed in the original petition to tender relevant documents relating to the results of the governorship election held in Delta State. The tribunal therefore adjourned till October the 25th this year for proper hearing of the case. Governor Ibrahim Gaidam has opened his defense in a petition filed by the People's Democratic Party candidate Adamu Waziri at the Yobe State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja. Mr. Waziri is challenging the declaration of Governor Gaidam as the winner of the April governorship polls, alleging that the election was marred by electoral fraud and bribery. Beside the governor, other respondents to this petition are his party, the All Progressives Congress, the Independent National Electoral Commission, the Yobe State Resident Electoral Commission, and the governor's aide-de-camp. At the resumed hearing of the Akwa Ibom State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Umana, entered the witness box to give his account of what transpired at the April 11th election. Before then, his counsel was given permission to tender the election materials despite the objection of the respondents. Counsel to Governor Emmanuel Udom had argued that the petitioner did not furnish the tribunal with the said document, but merely listed them. The tribunal dismissed that objection and the petitioner was allowed to present the election materials.
What we have succeeded in doing today is to get the documents put across to the tribunal. And they have been admitted, all the documents relating to the conduct of the election, as we have pleaded, they have all been admitted, subject, however, to the right of the respondents to canvass whatever arguments they may deem worthwhile to canvass in respect of their admissibility in the course of the proceedings.
Nevertheless, the respondents insisted on having copies of the admitted materials for their inspection, while reserving objection on the admission pending the completion of their examination.
The documents that they wish to bring in, that they ought to have included it, because we needed to have copies of those documents. And ultimately we've been given copies of those documents. And since we have copies of those documents, we would know exactly what, we'll study them and we'll decide exactly how best to defend the clients as far as these matters are concerned.
At the end, the APC governorship candidate did not have the opportunity to give his testimony. He is expected to give his testimony at the next sitting of the tribunal.